The following may contain strong opinionated views. The views and opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the views or the opinions of any social media or broadcast platform.
Hi, welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. Sports with Brian Camp. So settle in with coffee in hand and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
TGIF, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday, and here we are once again, and we're here for another session with you. And we're here coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate, but we don't stop there because we go all over the world. We're global here. Name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan. Thank you so much for being along with us for this Friday. And we're set for the weekend. Everyone is getting set, and we're going to prepare you for that. I mean, you got a ways to go. You have to get through the work session first, right? All of you 9 to 5ers and 8 to 4ers. Well, once you get by that, it's going to be okay. But we're going to help you along with that. We got a lot of good things in plan for you on the show today. We thank you so much for being along with us. We want to thank all of you people who have been around for so many years, who've been helping us out and getting us through this show. We thank you so much. We want to talk to the newer people, maybe possibly new for the very first time. If you're here, well, let me show you how the show operates. We get started by me throwing out a topic, which I'm doing right now. This is what I call the prep mode. So I'm prepping right now to get the show rolling. And as I do that at any time at all, you can take your fingers on your keyboard, just tickle those keyboards on your computer, be it laptop, desktop, on your telephone, or even your tablet, and type in whatever you want to talk about. And we'll be seeing you right there on the big screen. I will entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. And of course, that's what the show is all about, all the free exchange of ideas and of opinions. You have a lot of them, and I want to hear them. So stay back and get ready, and let's get settled and get the show rolling right now. You ought to know that we come on 2 different platforms. That's what we're broadcasting live on 2 different platforms. One is YouTube, and the other is Facebook. So you pick your poison. Whatever you want to use, you could use it right there. And of course, we'll get a chance to talk to you just the same, no matter what. And here we are this Friday. And just in case some of you guys may be at work right now, right? And if you are, then there's a possibility at this time you could be on your coffee break. And so if that's the case, well, take your coffee break and spend it with us. Now, I know normally you go around when you get that 15, 20-minute break or whatever it is, and you go around the office and you schmooze with your friends and your coworkers, which is always nice. But we're going to ask you today, it's Friday, to spend that time with us. Stay at your desk at your computer, watch the show, sip your coffee, and enjoy it. And when that break is over, whenever it's over, that 15, 20-minute break, you can go back to work without anyone telling you about it because you'll already be at your desk, and all you have to do is just chime in at work and enjoy your coffee and enjoy the show at the same time. It's as simple as that. Okay, we've got a lot of things in plan for you, and I want to say hello to all of you who are chiming in on Facebook and YouTube. I want to say hello to Warren out there. Warren is watching us out there from Facebook, out there from Greensboro, North Carolina, and out from London. The last time I heard from, she was in Gombe, Lynn Duff. And we want to say hi to her. And she wishes me a happy new year. A bit late. It's a bit late, but we're not even into February yet. People are still saying happy new year, Lynn. Don't worry about it. But you mean very well. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, and happy new year to you as well. And for those of you who are chiming in, the rest of you are chiming in. If you want to take the opportunity to talk to us, that would be great. What we want you to do is give us your weather forecast. Now, a lot of you may be in different places, like wherever Lynn is. Sometimes she's in London, England. She travels. She's a traveling woman. So wherever she is right now, Lynn, wherever you are right now, Give us a tiny portion of your weather forecast. Let us know what it's like as far as your weather is concerned. Warren, you do the same thing. Now, here in New York, boy, it's been cold. I mean, frigid, and it's still cold, and it's going to be cold for a long time. And we already got over a snowstorm. We last weekend had a big snowstorm, and it blanketed us. Now in Manhattan, we can take it a little bit because we clean up pretty quick out here. But when you go out on the outside of the boroughs, it tends to stick and stay there for a long time. A lot of people were snowbound, especially the people on Long Island and New Jersey. Oh boy, they had to dig their way out. I've seen it on the news. A lot of people. And it may be different from where you are. You may be on the other side of the world right now and you're experiencing summer because that's the way it goes. When that side of the world, wherever you are, your side of the world is summer, we are winter. And it reverts, right? Come July, well, of course, June, July, and I know the weather's going to start getting a little bit warmer starting in April. I know that's usually the case. That's only a taste of what we get for the summer. But whatever it is, whatever your weather forecast is, just give us a small briefing of that. That would be great. Warren has 27 degrees outside. So, Warren, you are cold. That's cold. 23 degrees. It's cloudy. It's going up to 33. So, it's cold. But it's real frigid here in New York. And I'll tell you about that. Now, those of you who, as I said, plan on getting involved in conversation, please do that. We would love that. You don't have to do the weather. Give me a small, but that's something that we ask you to do. And if you would do it, that would be great. So we want to compare notes. Okay. In England, that's where she is. Oh, now she's in England. England. Sun today in London and up north. It's snowing. It's cold and wet. That's up north in London. Up north in London. Okay. Just come back from Gombe. She just came back from Gombe. It was 34 degrees there, and they have 9 degrees today. So everyone is in the deep freeze. We are in the deep freeze. So I'm not alone here. Thank you, Lynn, for that weather forecast. To see, we compare these notes all around the world. People who come in and want to indulge in conversation. Now, if you don't want to indulge in conversation, then you're off the hook. We won't force you to say anything, by the way, because a lot of people, they come in and they want to make sense of the show, especially if they're new people. If they're new people, they want to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to just sit back, relax, and just watch the show. Not to worry, because we will not bring you out there. We will not embarrass you any kind of way. We do see you when you come in, but we will not acknowledge you unless you say something first. And when you do that, of course, that will give us an opportunity and a chance and the right to rope you in conversation as well. But if you're just out there idle, and I know you're there, I won't say a word to you. Okay, we'll just keep it like that because we want to respect everyone's privacy to either come in and talk or doesn't matter. But we're glad that you're out there. That's the most important thing, that you're glad that you're out there. We got a lot of things planned in the show today. Brian Camp, we're gonna hold on and find out whether he's coming in or not. Last night he was on the show. And by the way, if you don't get to see Talkback Live has changed a little bit. Brian is now my co-host on Talkback Live. Okay, we're not talking about Coffee Hour just yet because he's more busier on Friday than he is on Thursday, but he's more consistent on Thursday. So I called him early during the week and said, "Hey, look, why don't you, you know, think about this? Think about this. I would like to have you on the show as a co-host, so you could spend the whole hour with us and talk to people, and we could discuss conversation as well." And I said, "You think about that." He didn't even think about it. He just said, "Yeah, I'm in. I'm in." And I said, No. Think about it. No, I'm in. Okay. He's in. And he did a good job last night. He was on with us last night for a whole hour. So now, if you don't get a chance to see him if you don't watch the Coffee Hour, or if you watch the Coffee Hour and not Talk Back Live, tune in to Talk Back Live now because he's on with me. And we indulge in conversation together. And besides, two heads are better than one. But we had a good show last night. Anyway, I brought his name up because he still does the sports on Talkback Live. and he does the sports here on the coffee hour. Now, when we talked last night, he wasn't really sure. We're going to wait around and see if he doesn't come in. Of course, we're going to take care of all the sports that he left us. He left us just in case we have to do it ourselves, but we'll keep our fingers crossed because I'd rather for him to be here to do the sports. If not, we'll take care of all of that and all of us together. And later on in the program, before the show is over, sometime before the show is over, we're going to give you those movies that we always talk about, those movies from Turner Classic. Now, each week, I go into the Turner Classic Vault and pick up some movies, my picks of the week for your weekend. Now, the weekend comes along, and a lot of you want to do things. Now, a lot of us are in cold weather, inclement weather, and we don't want to go outside. The only thing that we want to do is stay home and stay warm and cuddle up with a book and even a great movie. That's the best time to do it when you can't get around. That's the best time to do it. Right there. Cuddle up real warm, watch a movie, read a book, and I have those movies for you. So that's coming along pretty well. So we look forward to giving you those movies when it comes along. That's later on in the program before the show is over. So we got all of that out of the way. Remember, all of the views and the opinions expressed on this show, the Coffee Hour, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of YouTube, Facebook, Zoom, or any other social media outlet or broadcast facility. Okay, and with that being said, let's do what we normally do. Let's raise our cups and our glasses with our beverages in it. And what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So, excuse me, guys, while I shoot up. That's delicious. That's great. I'm loving it already. Cinnamon. It's cinnamon today. Oh, that's marvelous. I'll have a little more a little later. Well, I'm glad that you're with us. And of course, as I said, we're going to be here for a whole full hour. I got the weather forecast and all kinds of things happening. And we want to make sure that all of you are in place with us. And Warren, he's out there. Lynn, thank you so much, all of you guys. And the rest of you guys who have come in, I see you out there, but we'll just hold off on you until you decide you want to say something. And if, again, if you have a specific topic that you want to get into, and there's a lot to talk about, by golly, a lot to talk about, you know, can't talk about it on one show, but we'll do our best. But if there's anything in particular that you want to talk about, uh, please feel free. Just type it in there, and we'll see your shining faces out there, and we'll acknowledge all of that for you. Okay, well, here it is, the month of January, and the very last show of January. It's the 30th. It's the 30th of January, right? Yeah, yes, it is. And guys, I got to tell you, it only seemed like we jumped into the new year. And just as Len wished me a happy new year, people are still doing it. And this is the, well, we've got one more day. Tomorrow is the final day of January, but then we go into a brand new month, February. February comes along, and February, as everyone knows, is the shortest month of the year, of each year. And in February, we have the leap year. We have all of that. They have leap year. One day is the 29th, and then the other one is it doesn't go any higher than 28, right? It never goes up to 30. No 30 days in February. Okay. So you either have the 28th or the 29th. And this year, let me check the calendar here. This year in February, we get 28 days. This year, yeah, we get 28 days this year in February. So it's short, and it's like in a blink of an eye. Once we get into February, it's going to be like, what is March already? That's the way it's going to be. But yeah, 28 days in February. But in the meantime, while we're here in January and just taking it easy and just watching out, we've got a few things. This month we celebrated Martin Luther King's birthday, right? Which was on his birthday is actually on the 15th, and that following Monday we did the observation day. But that was the only major thing that we celebrated for this month. But I just want to draw your attention, and this will be the last time I'll be telling you about this because we talked about this all month long. National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. Of course, as I told you time and time again, all month long, that's one of the things that are real. You see it on TV and dramas and things like that, and they actually are real. And if you don't know what national slavery and trafficking is when people kidnap young people, young girls, young boys, and enslave them into what they want, maybe to traffic drugs or sex or whatever it is. You know, we are aware of that. And I want to say anyone who's younger, at the age of 18 or so, of course, you have the sense enough to not talk to strangers, or if they beck you into their car or anything like that, you don't know them, you don't go. You know, that's how it whole starts. And not only they do it to older people as well. You know, so be very careful out there. You know, be very careful on who you talk to or where you go. And if you're going to jump into someone's car, make sure that you actually know the person before you do that. Okay. Also, we've got upon us uh, National Blood Donor Month. Now, a lot of people, Lynn has to go. Thank you, Lynn, for dropping by. She's not going to stay for the whole hour. Thank you, Lynn, for dropping by. We really appreciate it. And stay warm and because it's still frigid out there. We have National Blood Donor Month. Now, if you desire that you want to donate a little blood, you know, a lot of people do. You go to your local blood bank. You can go to your local blood bank. Now, what they'll do is they'll take blood away from you actually because you're donating blood for people who may need the type of blood that you may have. And if it's right there, you donate it. And you could do that, as I said, from your local blood bank. Maybe even your primary doctor would do it. Ask him, find out. And if you don't know where your local blood bank is, find out, Google it in your area, find out where the local is, and then you can go there. Now, I don't know if you have to have an appointment to do it or you could just walk right in. Certain places, depending on where you live, certain places may do that. You can walk right in, other places, and maybe you have to make an appointment. I don't know how it goes. But whatever it is, you could always find out by Googling and you getting the phone number and the location, and you can call them up to find out for yourself. Uh, it's uh, it's a worth thing to do. A lot of people like to do it annually. Some people do it often, you know, so your blood counts. It really does. And ladies and gentlemen, don't feel bad if you don't give blood. You're not a monster. A lot of people are not into it. A lot of people just don't do it. A lot of people are afraid to do it, whatever it is, you know. But I just want you to know that this is the month that we acknowledge it, National Blood Donor Month. So if you desire to do that, go to your local blood bank and you can get the opportunity to do it then. If you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and we're going to be here for the entire hour. We thank you for being along with us. There's a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to do, and for whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about it. The weekend is coming up, and as I said, it's going to be a cold weekend, a cold weekend. Brian Camp is going to be here. I just got the word. And he's going to give us the latest developments in today's world of sports. But before we go there, again, if you want to indulge in conversation, and I hope you do, because I like communicating with you guys. I really like communicating with you guys, talking to you personally. And but if you do that, please give us your weather forecast. Now, if you live in New York or even in the vicinity of New York, don't worry about it. Forget it. I'm going Brooklyn now. I'm going to use my Brooklyn accent. Forget about it. All right. Forget about it. I'll take care of that. Okay. I'm taking care of the local weather in New York. And I got to tell you guys, this is no fun. This is not a joke. Now, we went through, I don't know about where you live, but when we went through the Christmas season, we didn't get any snow at all. We didn't even get that much cold weather. But after all of that was done, after the Christmas and the New Year's holiday, after that, here we are. We're in the deep freeze right now. It's cold. And it's not going to be a bad weekend, but it's going to be one of those weekends you want to stay home if you live in New York. Okay, so let's get it started right now. We got sunshine and clouds mixed today. We'll have a high near 20 degrees. 20 degrees. It's 20 degrees. That's the high. Now, you may ask, what do you have presently? 20 degrees. Oh, God. Now, you may ask, what do you have presently? Okay, I'll tell you. What we have presently is 13 degrees. All right. Now, if that's not cold, I don't know what is. It's 13 degrees presently here in New York. That's cold. That's just too cold. All right. Anyway, this is what we got. As I said, we got sun and clouds mixed. We'll have a high. I said 20 before, but after I refreshed the calendar, it went down to 19 degrees for the high today. 19 degrees, and winds will be west northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Every time I see the temperatures that I'm looking at right now, I'm getting a chill because for tonight it's going to be clear skies, and we have a near record low temperature of 6 degrees. 6 degrees. Winds west northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, my favorite day, but I'm staying home watching Netflix and eating popcorn and all of that stuff. I'm just gonna make it a stay-at-home day, right? It's gonna be partly cloudy skies in the morning. We'll give way to cloudy skies during the afternoon. We'll have cold temperatures, the high of 23 degrees, and winds will be north northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Saturday night, it'll be cloudy, a few flurries or snow showers possible. We'll have a low 13 degrees. Winds will be north at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And for Sunday, a day of rest. If you desire to go out there, bundle up real warm, considerable cloudiness, cold, high 26 degrees. Winds will be north northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. And repeating our current temperature, I said it was 13 degrees, and I am not joking about that. So much for the cold. Now, we're going to move over to Charlotte, North Carolina. I think it's a little warmer over there. We'll find out. Brian Kemp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. If you have any sports related questions, feel free, get them ready because Brian is here to answer all of your questions. Did you hear the weather forecast I just did, Brian?
No, I did not. No. What is it?
I, well, I'm not going to read it over there, but it's damn cold out here.
Yeah,
We got
it is.
we got 13 degrees right now.
Wow.
Warren,
And we
Warren is in, and he's telling me that he has 27 degrees. It's going to go up to high of 33. So Warren is cold, is a little more warmer than I am. He's closer to 30 degrees than I am to 20.
well, I looked at the forecast. It's 31 degrees right now, going up to 43, give or take. I'm 90 minutes away from Warren, so I really don't know. That's a big gap for, where he's at and where I'm at. So
Mhm.
either way, I can't see his comments, but Warren, can you tell me how many inches that we're expecting of snow? I was told it's going to be 4 to 5 inches of snow starting later on, maybe I think tomorrow, I think. So, but that's where we are right now. But you see, I got my goggles on. I got my. Today is flannel day here at the school where we have to dress like we're freezing in the Arctic or wherever you want to call it. And I got my goggles, my gloves, and my vest and my hoodie. So the kids said, "Mr. Camp, you scaring us. You look like a monster with those goggles on." I said, "Yeah, don't I?" Maybe you behave. I don't know,
You're,
but
dre-
no,
you're,
but
you're
hmm?
dressed about to be in Siberia.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
You know, so, but I'm not gonna be with you too long. I got to get back to where
Okay.
I'm at.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's 31 degrees, supposed to be going up to 43. But then again, you just don't know about the weather. And let me get to the sports. As you know, Super Bowl Sunday coming up a week from this Sunday, February 8th. It'd be Super Bowl 60. 60. We have 60. I've seen most of them except for maybe the first three. I remember Super Bowl four at Kansas City and Green Bay. I remember that one. So it's been Super Bowl 60 now. Now the big game is going to be, like I said, February 8th. The Seattle Seahawks will be going against the New England Patriots. That'll be at 6:30, and that game will be on NBC Peacock. The people who's going to be entertaining at halftime is Bad Bunny. Is set to headline the Apple Music Super Bowl 60 at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, as the first Latin artist to solo headline the show. Um, his performance. I thought Jennifer Lopez was the first, but I don't know. Maybe this is the first male Latino. Okay, maybe I gotta do some research. Now, the pregame performers will include Green Day, Charlie Puth, Brandy Cartley, and Coco Jones. They're going to do the pregame. So I never knew that they had a pregame into lineup, but that's what they have. Um, you know, in Minnesota, what ICE agents have been going on, you know what's been happening. Two people have been killed in a month's time. Peretti and Renee Good. Well, continue into sports. It's connected with sports. The sports teams, the Minnesota Wild, the Minnesota Lynx, the Minnesota United FC, the Minnesota Twins, the Minnesota Vikings, and the Minnesota Timberwolves joined dozens of Minnesota-based companies that signed an open letter calling state, local, and federal officers to work together in the wake of the tension of the two fatal shootings that I just mentioned by federal agents. Um, the shootings of the two victims came a massive immigration enforcement operation that has spurred protests in Minnesota, not only through Minnesota, nationwide, and in some parts worldwide as well too. Don't think that the people, the outside world, um, other than United States, then they're watching this very carefully. Trust me when I say this. Now, we spoke about recent weeks about gambling. Well, gambling is becoming a big issue even in the UFC. The UFC canceled a bout at UFC 24 at T-Mobile Arena after the contest was flagged for suspicious betting activity. Yeah, just hours before the wrestling card was scheduled to start, the UFC announced that it had lost a light heavyweight matchup between Alexander Hernandez and Michael Johnson. Now, the company did not immediately provide a reason for the cancellation, but UFC CEO Dana White, as you know, he's in charge of all these events, confirmed at his post-fight news conference it was a suspicious betting activity. So somebody's making suspicious bets that's not warranted, and you know, there's something strange that's going on because you know matches and games, baseball, basketball, football, whatever any sporting could be fixed without you knowing it. So that's one of the reasons why I don't have all the details, but that's the immediate details of what I have. This day in sports, January 30th, 1958, Major League Baseball Commissioner Ford Frick announces players, coaches can vote on the All-Star game. Not players weren't allowed to bet at that time. Players are now, um, excuse me, fans weren't allowed to vote for the All-Star game in baseball. Now they are. They seem like they just stuffed about the ballot boxes for their favorite players who may not necessarily be a very good player or all-star, but that's what they do. I think they should some way take it away from the fans because and let the peers vote among themselves. 1971, the UCLA Bruins of basketball starts an 88 basketball game winning streak. Um, it was broken by Notre Dame back in 1974, I want to say. Yes, 1974, the streak was broken. 1978, Addie Doss and Larry McPhail elected to Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. 1994, Emmitt Smith wins Super Bowl MVP at the Georgia Dome. That was Super Bowl, I got to count the numbers, 28, I believe. The two X's stands for 10 Roman numerals, and then the V is a five, and the three ones that makes 28. I was very good in school when it came to Roman numerals. If you know what the L is for, I think 50, if I recall. 1996, Magic Johnson, Hall of Fame basketball player, comes out of retirement after 5 years. Um, he scored 19 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists. 2018, James Harden recorded the highest triple double. What a triple double is, you got to get three offensive the top categories of steals, assists, points, rebounds, also defense as well too. Well, he had 60 points, 10 assists, and 11 rebounds. That's incredible. 60 points. That's the highest triple double of all time. Baseball's on this day, 1943. Happy birthday to the late Davy Johnson, Major League Baseball second baseman and manager, won 3 World Series championships, two with the Baltimore Orioles and one as a manager for the New York Mets. Was born in Orlando, Florida. And happy birthday, 1973, to Jalen Rose, NBA forward, broadcaster for ESPN, NBC, born in Detroit, Michigan. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports. I'm gonna give a shout out. Prayers go out to Don Lemon, who got arrested. Some of you may have heard about this early this morning. Yeah, Don Lemon was arrested in Los Angeles. He was covering the Grammys for this weekend, but he was arrested this early today. Was a protest that had something to do with Minnesota. If you don't know about it, you might have to go and look on the cable news. But I saw this early this morning at 7 o'clock this morning. He's been arrested along with another journalist and other people as well too. It's been 6 or 7 arrests, but two of them were journalists. So um, hopefully he can get out in time. This is all stems from he's doing okay to what I'm hearing, but this all stems from the president who doesn't like people from CNN, even though he doesn't work for CNN, but he has his own brought his own podcast. And but this is attack. This is another attack. So we won't talk about the Epstein files. So Don Lemon, keep your head up. Hopefully, be out in time to cover the Grand Grammys. His arrest was very quickly. I'll say was the arrest was has had to do with something where he was igniting the protest. No, his job was, as he puts it, he was covering. There's a big difference, covering and a protest than actually supporting it. Now, the only thing I would say about the thing what Don Lemon should not have done was to whether you're broadcasting it or covering or just bring it. You don't bring it into a church. Number one, that's a house of worship. That's just me. But Don Lemon was in his rights. If you remember a week or two ago, they tried to arrest him, but the federal judges, they canceled that and said no, he did not do anything wrong. So this is what he believes, that the president is behind this. Again, as always. So shout out to Don Lemon and to the other journalists who's covering what's been going on in Minnesota and throughout the country about ICE agents. And that is sports and
Hmm.
politics.
Hmm. Nothing seems to amaze me anymore. I saw before coming on the air, I couldn't, I was going through my phone and I saw breaking news Don Lemon, and I didn't have time to go into it to find out what it was, but I'm glad you brought that out to me.
Hmm.
And when I get off the air, I'm going to look more into that and see what's
Yeah.
going on because there's probably more to the story than we realize. It's just terrible. I mean, it comes everywhere. I mean, no matter what you do, where you work, or what kind of business you're in, you can find politics in it all the way. It wasn't always that way. That's the way it is now.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really bad. It's really terrible.
Yeah,
But he is the president is targeting people who do not like him.
yeah.
And to his credit, I will have to say he's been keeping his word. He's been before the election. He's going to get revenge, and he's a vengeance person who just goes out his way just to um, annihilate his foes. And but Don Lemon, who has a very good support group, I'm pretty sure will be okay. Hopefully, he'll be back out in time. He's in court today. Hopefully, he'll be released, and he'll be out in time where he'll cover the Grammys. But shout out not only to Don Lemon and to all the journalists who's just doing their job, who's
Yeah,
just fulfilling their um, 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 constitutional rights, and that's all they're doing.
yeah, yeah. Well, we'll find more on this story, and we'll relay it. And I'm pretty sure it's floating all over social media as we speak right now. I
Yeah,
know you got I know you got to run, Brian, but we'll catch you back here Thursday. Brian, by the way, is co-hosting now as of last night, Talk Back Live with me. So
yeah.
you get a chance to see him for a whole hour, and he still does the sports as well. So check him out
I'm
there. And then,
Robin. I'm
yeah,
Robin. I'm that Batman. You're Batman. Frank Allen is Batman. Brian Camp is Robin. So dynamic duo.
okay. All right. Well, we'll catch you back here to the bat poles.
Yeah, listen, everybody, all joking aside, just if you in the South area, in the South, throughout the nation, if you're going to experience some cold, wet weather and snow, be careful. Don't, if you got to go out now and come back and stay in for the weekend. That's all.
Yeah, that's what
All
I
right.
say. Okay.
All right.
All right, Brian, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you later. Stay warm.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on sports update. It's freezing all over. It's freezing all over. I don't, hey, listen, in London, you heard Lynette Duff from London came back from Gambia. And it's cold there. It's cold in London. It's cold where Warren is. It's cold where Brian is. It's cold here it's super cold here. All right. Maybe the world is freezing and we don't know it. Maybe everyone's cold. Is there any place where there's warmth somewhere, like 70, 80 degrees somewhere? I'm pretty sure on the other side of the world, but who knows? Who knows? Well, we'll see. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so much for being with us for this Friday. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And of course, we're going to be with you for the remaining of the show. By the way, if you're on YouTube, be sure to take the time, if you haven't done it as of yet, take the time right now to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would love you to do that. That's a great opportunity to know for me and for the staff here that who's following us and who's getting around with us, who's a members, and it doesn't cost you a dime. It just costs you a split second just to click on. And not only will it benefit us, it benefits you too, because now that you clicked on, you won't miss the show for the world. If you're online to see anything and you happen to forget about the show, well, you get an automatic pop up. That's an automatic, it'll pop up, the instant notification will pop up right there to remind you that the show is on the air. And all you have to do is click onto it and brings you right to the channel. Now, sometimes you get those pop-ups when we're not even doing the show, only because maybe it's something's going on, activity is going on the YouTube channel. Maybe we're posting a still picture or a video or some sort, anything like that. You get that instant notification. And the only thing that you have to do is click onto it to find out what's going on. You don't have, because we hide nothing here. So that's the benefit right there. So we want you to do that. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook, don't go anywhere just yet. Stay right there where you are and go to the YouTube channel later on to subscribe. Now, you may say, oh, well, I only watch it on Facebook. That's okay too. But then there may be those times when you want to see Brian on the air because you don't get a chance to see him. You only hear him. If you already noticed that, if you're watching us. And even when we do Talk Back Live, you only hear him. You won't see him. I'm sorry we're not able to do that. But we're working on it. But if you want to see Brian, You go to the YouTube channel. I click onto it anyway, right? Subscribe to it. All right. And some people, when they come on, they monitor the show both ways. They watch it on YouTube and they watch it on Facebook. And I think the reason why they want to do that because they want to see who's coming in and who's chatting with us both on YouTube and both on Facebook. That's a smart thing to do. That's a smart thing to do. So you can do that too. We look forward to seeing you each week too, because it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to have you aboard with us, and we want you to stay with us. And as Brian talked about Don Lemon, that was one of the things that I'm going to look into, and I do believe that that's a political move. I don't know what he did to actually get arrested, but we'll find out later on. Brian only gave us a small amount of information on what happened. So we're going to find out more what happened, and then we'll see, and we'll relay that to you if we possibly can. Okay. And Don Lemon, by the way, if you don't know who he is, he was a former anchor on MSNBC, which is now MS Now. And he got fired from that job. I don't know if that was political or not, but he got fired from that job. It could have been political. It could have been a one of those things saying, "Hey, get rid of him. We don't want him. He talks too much." But then, something, that's what we do for a living. We talk. We talk. Now, whatever we talk about, that's another thing. That's another right that we have. Don Lemon now is doing his own independent broadcast, and he's an independent journalist. So he can say whatever he wants now. He can do whatever he wants now without following the rules and regulations of the FCC. But by the way, MSNBC is not don't adhere to the FCC anyway. So they can basically say what they want, limit to a limit, to a degree. But when you're an independent broadcaster like myself or like Don Lemon, we get to say whatever we want to whatever we want. Some people curse. I'm not the cursing type, so I don't do it on the air. Okay, uh, but there are a lot of people who don't mind blurting out curse words, and Don Lemon is one of them. And you have other broadcasters that do it because they have that free form, because they're independent broadcasters and their shows do not adhere to the FCC, Federal Communication Commission, which that's another story I feel about them, but that's another show. But we'll look more into that about Don Lemon. We'll find out, and whatever we know, we'll definitely, give you that information. Yvonne Line, a beloved actress, best known for her work on the classic sitcom Father Knows Best, and a string of memorable 1950 film roles, has died. She was born in 1935. Lime entered the entertainment industry at a young age, first gaining attention as a child performer in the early days of television. And she became a familiar face to viewers through her recurring appearance on Father Knows Best, one of the most iconic family sitcoms of the 1950s, which starred Robert Young and Jane Wyatt. Emma Brunton's 50th birthday called for a major celebration. Button marked a special day last Wednesday and threw a party in the Cotswolds region of England last days later, reuniting with all of her former Spice Girl bandmates, Victoria Beckham, whose Porsche Spice was in attendance, and Melanie Mel C, who's a Sporty Spice, and Jerry Hollowell Horner, who's Ginger Spice, to celebrate Button's birthday, who is Baby Spice. Now, the only one that didn't show up, she was the missing link, was Mel B, the Scary Spice. So they had to say Melanie B and Melanie C. They're both Melanies, Mel B and Mel C. Jared James Nichols is he's really showcasing in his powerhouse vocals and deliver another round of high octane music to fans with surprise new music. Now, 3 years after his self-titled album, he is back bringing his signature sound to the airwaves. Independent records label Frontier Music SRL announced the exciting news on social media, revealing that the details of the Nichols' fourth studio album, Louder Than Fate, well, they're scheduled to be released on June 5th. And upcoming project is said to be his most powerful and fully uh, realized statement of to date. Quentin Aaron, an actor who played Michael O'Hare in The Blind Side, has been hospitalized after collapsing in his home. The manager for the actor has been said that he was hospitalized in Atlanta, Georgia. Quentin was walking up the stairs in his apartment last week when his legs suddenly stopped functioning, causing him to collapse. He was rushed to the hospital, and Quentin is on life support at this moment because of a severe blood infection. However, his manager says he's stable, communicating with his family, team, and of course, getting the precise care that he needs at this time. And doctors are still running tests and evaluating Quentin's condition. And at this time, there's no definitive word on what caused the fall. Patrick Dempsey is officially back on network TV in his new series, Memory of a Killer. That's on Fox. The psychological thriller follows Angelo Doyle, who's played by Dempsey, a mild mannered widower with a seemingly boring job, who's about to be a grandfather. Sounds cute, right? Well, Angelo is also living in a double life as a secret hitman. But when he begins to show symptoms of Alzheimer, uh, has two separate lives begin to dangerously collide. Birthdays today: Becky Lynch of the WWE is 39 years old today. R&B singer Jody Watley is 67. Brett Butler, who played Grace Under Fire, is 68. Singer Phil Collins is 75. Phil Collins, you remember him from Genesis. Actor Charles S. Dutton is 75 today. The late politician Dick Cheney would have been 85. Actress Vanessa Redgraves, who's still alive and well, is 89. Actress, the late Tammy Grimes, would have been 92. Actor Gene Hackman would have been 96. Actress Dorothy Malone would have been 102. Dick Martin of Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In would have been 104. Actor David Wayne would have been 112. And jazz trumpeter Roy Eldridge would have been 115 years old. So we say happy birthday to all of them, the ones who are alive and well and still carrying on. We say happy birthday to you and to even the ones who are no longer with us, because we acknowledge you because you left us a beautiful legacy. So happy birthday to all of you. And if you are celebrating a birthday, well, we want you to get in contact with us and let us know that. Or you can come on the show live and do it yourself, right? Well, I have an email address and a telephone number, and you can get in contact with us right away. The email address is Frank Allan. Allan is spelled Allan. Frank Allan Prod. Prod is Prod. That's short for Productions. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. We want you to use those contacts and keep them in your electronic devices, such as your computer, be it laptop, desktop, your tablet, or your phone. You carry that phone everywhere you go anyway, right? So it's right in there whenever you need it. And if you have all three of those devices and more, put them in all of the devices. This way, if one is not available, of course, you have something to lean on, something else to lean on. All right. And you don't have to have a birthday to contact us. Of course, by all means, contact us if you have a birthday. But you could also contact us if you want to talk about the show, or if you want to critique our show, or anything at all, or if you even just want to say hello. We read them all, we listen to them all. All right. And that's all you have to do. All right. And we're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So you could use it at any time you like. And if you want to talk about the new addition to uh, Talk Back Live, which comes on every Thursday, we'll tell you more about that. Brian is now the co-host of the show. You can talk about that as well, anytime at all. All right. So let me give you those information pieces once again. First, the email address is frankallenprod at AOL.com. That's frankallenprod at AOL.com. Telephone number 641 715 3900, extension 467134. That's 641 715 3900, extension 467134. Yes, we talked about Don Lemon and his arrest, and he's not the only one. He's not the only one in the media that gets arrested just for doing their job. Just for doing their job. A lot of people. And it all comes down to one thing and one person. We all know who that is, you know. And things are getting more crazier. People, some of the media, they go out there and visit, which presently is underway. The big debates and all of uh, uh, the demonstrations that go on. It's big in Missouri right now. And a lot of people are there. And the people in Missouri are doing very well with what they're doing. They're doing it very peacefully. You know that. The mayor and the governor, they get together and they work on a situation to, combat situations, because they're saying that they don't want ICE in their community. And federal immigration officers had shot 13 people since September, as the Department of Homeland Security has ramped up deportation operations around the country. And the latest fatal shooting, of course, as you know, came on January 24th. A federal agent killed Alex Preddy. He was only 37 years old. And just weeks before that, the fatal shooting of Renee Good. That's Renee Nicole Good, also 37 years old. And guess what? They're both U.S. citizens in Minneapolis residents. Both of them, U.S. citizens, and both live in Minneapolis. And they're both 37 years old. And what do they do? They're targeting people that young. They don't care. They really don't care. They want ICE out of their community, and they say, no more of this. This is ridiculous. We don't want to hear about it anymore. We want them out. And every time you look around each weekend, now as you guys already know, I do not watch the news on the weekend, so this weekend won't be any different. But I won't miss anything. But I am getting sick and tired of saying, what can happen next? What can happen next? And every time I say that, every time I come back on Monday and watch the news, something else happens. So you can't say what happens next or what can happen next. How low can you go? How low can you go? There's no rock bottom anymore. It's just going down, down, down. Infinity. Infinity. It just keeps rolling. Infinity. But I think all cities should follow the lead of the people, the resilient people of Minnesota. Follow their lead, because they are doing a great job. They're standing up, they're not backing down, whether it's with the people from ICE or the people in the White House. They're not backing down. And the latest thing now, right? The Democrats want to get rid of Chrissy Nome, and also Stephen Miller. They want to get rid of them. They shouldn't even be there anyway, But then again, that's another show. That's another show. It's just taken that way. You guys like Pringles potato chips and all of these things like Cheerios and Nutella. Nutella is the little chocolate stuff that you can spread on your pancakes and your bread and all of that stuff. Well, I have a little news for you guys, and I don't want you to back down because I think they're going to fix the problem. Pringle, Nutella, Cheerios, among thousands of products recalled for exposure of rodent waste. Ugh. You're going to say, no, I'm not going to eat that anymore. Thousands of food items, pet foods, beauty products, and drugs were recalled in Gold Star Distribution Incorporated in December. That's when they made the announcement there. And the recall was initiated after the FDA determined that the facility had insanitary conditions, including rodent and bird waste. All right. Now they're working on the problem. They're pulling all of these items from your stores, right, for the time being. And I guess hopefully when they straighten this whole thing out, they'll bring it back. Nearly 2,000 products have been recalled during the presence of the rodents and bird contamination. So don't fear. If you like your Pringles and you like all of the things that I mentioned, don't worry about it. I'm pretty sure they're going to fix all of that and bring them back to. But in the meantime, they pull them off the products. Now, reminding you that they're not in the stores. They didn't find them in the stores. It's found out in this place, this facility called the Gold Star Distribution Incorporated. That's where it's all taking place. And when they delivered the products, it was already there. But so it's not the stores, it's not your local stores. But if they do have it on the shelf, there still find out from your manager in the stores to find out if they're good or not. And he would or she would know. Okay. I'm going to give you those movies I got for you, and it's coming down this weekend. I have two this weekend because I always go on Turner Classic Movies and give you the best I can find. I have two classics, one black and white and the other in color. And this first one comes from 1951. It's called Double Dynamite. It's a musical comedy with Jane Russell, Groucho Marx, and Frank Sinatra. And you can catch Turner Classic Movies Saturday at 6 a.m. Eastern. And if you can't get up that early, of course, make up in your mind that you are going to DVR it and watch it later. And the second one is Cooley High, 1975, with Glenn Turman, Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, and Garrett Morris. And you can see that Turner Classic Movies, but you can see this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And that Cooley High, I lived that movie. I lived that movie. So everything you see in that movie, I lived that movie. And a lot of us did. A lot of you guys my age lived that movie. It's Cooley High. Again, that's Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, right there on Turner Classic Movies. Now, go on Turner Classic Movies, and you could also go down the line because there are a lot of free movies as well, if you still have your cable. And because some people still have cable, go down the line, you'll see all of those free movies. And they stem from the 1930s up. Movies that you haven't seen in a long time, movies that will jog your memory. Also, you have paid per view movies, movies that are in the theater now, which you have to pay a little more for compared to the movies that were just recently in the theater and pulled out. And of course, you still have to pay for that. And then you have a lot of children programs. You have documentaries, you have sporting events. If you miss your favorite soap opera or your sporting events, you miss those in real time. You could also go back the following day and check it out because sometimes you can find these programs without commercial interruption. Not all the time, but sometimes, especially the sports. And your favorite soap opera as well, you can go check with them the following day if you missed it in real time. Because I remember when they used to call sports soap operas, the old ladies used to say, "My stories, they're my stories. I want to see my stories." And she used to say, "Agnes, I gotta go now. My stories are on." They're all soap operas. They took a lot of them off the air. Anyway, let me repeat these movies once again. You have Double Dynamite from 1951 with Jane Russell, Groucho Marx, and Frank Sinatra. Turner Classic Movies are Saturday at 6 a.m. Eastern. And then you have Cooley High with Glenn Turman, Lawrence Hilton Jacobs, and Garrett Morrison. Garrett Morris. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, right there on Turner Classic Movies. I think you'll like these movies. I think you'll like these movies. I stare you no wrong. Okay? Well, that's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. My weekend is officially underway, and yours is coming up pretty soon. And I know you're going to look forward to it. We're going to come back next Thursday, right here, and it's 8 p.m. Eastern for Talk Back Live. Brian Camp is my new co-host with the show, so you can see him for the whole hour with me. He'll be here, and also he'll bring you the latest developments in today's world of sports, and then come back next week here at 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the Coffee Hour. Brian Camp with Sports, and we look forward to seeing you as well. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, stay warm, have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you back here. Hopefully the weather will be a little better. Take care. Bye.
You've been watching the Coffee Hour with your host Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on the Coffee Hour.